Hello, happiness abounders, and welcome back. Today I'm going to completely challenge conventional wisdom in terms of self-care, especially in terms of emotional self-care. Nobody wants to feel angry. Nobody wants to feel sad. Nobody wants to feel lonely, anxious. Nobody wants to feel what we could deem as negative emotions. No one wants to sit in those and feel them. Which is why we have a world full of binge watching on Netflix, why we have a world full of ever scrolling through Facebook and Instagram. All right, how long have you been like, I'm just going to check this for 15 minutes? 2 hours goes by, right? It's why we have a world of YouTube holes, if that's the right way to go about it, right? You've ever stopped, watched a YouTube video, and the next thing you know, you've been watching all the adjacent videos and gone down like a rabbit hole of YouTube videos? Yeah, that's why we have over drinking. That's why we have overeating. Is because no one wants to sit in their negative emotions. So instead, we try to really push them down in a way and focus on something else that gives us a quick hit of dopamine, a quick hit of feeling good, which is why we watch shows on Netflix. Or whatever platform may be your platform of choice. This is why we scroll. This is why we overeat. This is why we overdrink. Right? It's because no one wants to sit in our emotions. So when I say I'm going to challenge conventional wisdom, here's what I mean. As a form of self-care, I want to challenge you to sit in the discomfort of your emotions. Sit in and fully embrace what you're feeling that may not be the most comfortable thing. Fully embrace what you've been told your whole life to not feel, right? And here's what I mean by your whole life to not feel. How many times when you were a kid did you cry and somebody said, don't cry? Probably way too many to count. How many times as an adult have you told yourself to not cry? Probably too many to count. How many times have you been worried and someone has said, oh, don't worry, it'll work out? Okay, thanks. I'm aware it's going to work out one way or the other, but I'm still worried. But pretty much these emotions are dismissed. They're brushed under the rug, under the table, out of sight, out of mind, because they can make other people and ourselves feel uncomfortable. So our whole lives we've been told not to feel these emotions. So we find other ways to not feel these emotions. So as a form of self-care, what would happen if we said, and like we mentioned in yesterday's episode, we identified the emotions we're feeling and then just sat in them? What would that be like? The feeling we'd work through these emotions much faster. I have a feeling it could be a little overwhelming because we've pushed our emotions down so much, so often, that to sit there and say I'm sad and have that be okay and not reach for the tub of ice cream and not reach for the couch at Netflix and just to sit there and be like, it's okay. It's going to be a lot. But it's a massive form of emotional self-care to allow yourself to feel these emotions for once, right? Finally in your life, you can feel these emotions and it'll be okay. Finally in life, you can identify why you want to cry and that be okay. So step 1 of emotional self-care is identifying and being aware of your emotions. That was yesterday's episode. Step 2, unconventional, but sit in those emotions. And here's how you do that. You go, I'm sad, and that's okay. It's not, I'm sad and I'm wrong. I'm sad and something's broken. I'm sad and I just want to be happy. I'm sad and the world's out to get me. Stop telling an additional narrative. Stop telling an additional story. Instead, it's, I'm sad and that's okay. Now, I mentioned in yesterday's episode we need to identify the emotion and then ask why. right? Because I feel angry. Why do I feel angry? Pulling back the blanket of emotion and realizing that you feel angry because you're actually sad and hurt. This is, now I'm sad and hurt. I am sad. And that's okay. Now, I'm all about diving into the why because then we can come up with a solution. However, if we dive straight into the why, after we've identified that sadness is really the underlying core, and we don't allow ourselves to feel it and have that be okay, we're still pushing that emotion to the side. It's like, great, hey, I know you're there, but I'm actually really busy over here. I need to solve this. Instead of, hey, I know you're here, and that's okay. We can get to solving this in a minute. But as a form of self-care, I'm going to allow myself, for the first time ever in my life, to feel sad. It's amazing how that is such a unique and unconventional and really unabashed way of self-care. Because it does allow yourself to feel your emotions fully and have it be okay. To not have anyone, including yourself, tell you to buck up, tell you to get over it, tell you that it's going to be okay, that you shouldn't be showing emotions, and that you can actually feel it for yourself. Like I said, sitting in this for the first time can feel a little overwhelming. As I've been sitting here and saying, I feel sad and that's okay, and I don't even feel sad right now, I have felt some tears well up. But, this is the most important part, that's okay. So as you continue into your week, as you continue to listen to this theme week of emotional self-care, I want to invite you to really sit in your emotions, sit in the discomfort, and say whatever emotion you're feeling, and that's okay. So I'm going to leave you with that today. I hope that this is like, whoa. If it's not, then you were ahead of the curve and you're well aware of emotional self-care. But if it was like, holy cow, I've been told not to cry my whole life. Holy cow, I tell myself not to cry. Wow, I have never realized that when I am sad, I actually go and watch Netflix, or I will eat a tub of ice cream. Like, I've never realized that that was all connected. And if that was you, I would love to hear from you. I would love to know if that was the case and if this episode really connected and resonated with you, because it has really connected and resonated with me over my life. This concept has really helped me improve my emotional self-care, and I hope it can help you as well. So you can reach out to me and let me know. I really am excited to hear how this goes for you at happinessabound.com, Happiness Abound blog on Facebook, and happiness_abound on Instagram. Or you can go to iTunes or your listening podcast platform of choice if they allow for reviews, and click on the 5-star review and leave a written review as well. Bonus, if your listening podcast platform of choice does not offer the opportunity to leave a review and you still feel inclined to do so, Facebook allows for a review section, and same setup, 5 stars plus a written review if you'd like to leave one. I would love to hear from you. I would love to know if this episode resonated with you, and I would love to know how sitting in that discomfort felt, and if you believe it's a form of self-care after you've tried it, or if you think otherwise. So give me a shout out, let me know how it goes, and above everything else, remember, you can feel your emotions, and that's okay. And above everything else, you are capable of happiness abound.